Have you ever wondered if the people around you are truly who they appear to be? That charming colleague, that friendly neighbor, or even that family member who always seems so genuine, what if their carefully constructed mask suddenly slipped? The truth is, most of us are walking through life completely blind to the deeper layers of human nature that exist right before our eyes. What I'm about to share with you will transform the way you see people forever. These aren't just theories or guesswork. These are scientifically backed psychological insights that can help you read anyone's true character within moments of meeting them. By the end of this journey, you'll possess a superpower that only a few people on this planet truly understand: the ability to see through facades and discover who someone really is beneath their carefully crafted exterior. The science behind reading people. Before we dive into the specific secrets, it's crucial to understand why this works. Research in psychology shows that we form first impressions within just 1/10 of a second of meeting someone. These split-second judgments are surprisingly accurate when people present themselves genuinely, but they can also be manipulated by those who know how to wear masks effectively. What makes this even more fascinating is that our brains are hardwired to read others as a survival mechanism. This ability evolved over thousands of years to help our ancestors quickly identify threats and allies. The problem is, in our modern world, we've become lazy observers. We've forgotten how to use these ancient skills that could protect us from manipulation, betrayal, and heartbreak. Secret 1. The Power Test. How authority reveals true nature. The first and perhaps most revealing secret comes from observing how someone behaves when they gain even the smallest amount of power or authority. Abraham Lincoln once said, "If you want to test a man's character, give him power." This wasn't just wisdom. It was profound psychological insight. Power doesn't corrupt people. It reveals who they already are. When someone receives authority, whether it's becoming a team leader, getting a promotion, or even just being given control of a group project, their mask begins to slip. The pressure of responsibility and the temptation of control bring out their authentic self. Watch carefully for these telltale signs. Does the person become more helpful and considerate of others, or do they become demanding and controlling? Do they use their position to lift others up, or do they use it to satisfy their ego? Someone with genuine integrity will become more protective and supportive of those around them. But someone with hidden character flaws will start making decisions purely for personal benefit, treating others as expendable resources. The most dangerous people are those who smile while exercising power, but show subtle signs of enjoying the control itself, rather than the responsibility. Pay attention to their body language when giving instructions. Are they comfortable with authority, or are they intoxicated by it? Secret 2. The Service Test. How they treat those who can't help them. Here's a psychological truth that cuts straight to the core of someone's character: how they treat people who have absolutely nothing to offer them in return. This includes service workers, children, elderly individuals, animals, and anyone they perceive as being beneath their social status. The reason this test is so powerful is rooted in basic psychology. When someone is kind to their boss, clients, or influential people, they're motivated by self-interest. But when they're respectful to a restaurant server who's having a difficult day, or patient with a store clerk who's learning their job, they're revealing their true moral compass. Research shows that people with high empathy naturally extend compassion to those who cannot reciprocate. Watch for micro-expressions when they interact with service staff. Do you see genuine warmth in their eyes, or do you catch fleeting moments of impatience or superiority? These micro-expressions, lasting less than half a second, often reveal concealed emotions that contradict their verbal politeness. The most telling moment is when they think no one important is watching. How do they behave in the elevator with the janitor? How do they respond when a homeless person asks for help? These interactions strip away all social pretense and show you exactly who they are at their core. Secret 3. The Accountability Mirror. How they handle their mistakes. Nothing reveals character faster than watching someone deal with their own failures and mistakes. This psychological principle is based on the concept of emotional maturity and ego strength. People fall into two distinct categories: those who can admit fault and learn from it, and those who deflect blame onto others. When someone takes responsibility for their errors, it demonstrates several crucial character traits: humility, self-awareness, and genuine confidence. These individuals understand that admitting mistakes doesn't make them weak, it makes them trustworthy. They possess what psychologists call secure attachment. They don't need to protect their ego at the expense of truth. On the other hand, people who constantly blame others reveal deep insecurity and potential narcissistic tendencies. They operate from a place of fear, terrified that any admission of fault will destroy their carefully constructed image. These individuals are psychologically dangerous because they will sacrifice anyone to protect themselves. Watch their facial expressions when confronted with a mistake. Do you see genuine concern and problem-solving mode, or do you catch micro-expressions of anger and defensiveness? Listen to their language. Do they use phrases like "I should have" and "I made an error," or do they immediately start explaining why it wasn't really their fault? Secret 4. The family dynamics decoder, their most unguarded moments. Here's where most people reveal their absolute truth in their relationships with family members. Family dynamics are like a psychological laboratory where all pretenses eventually dissolve. Unlike friendships or professional relationships that people can control and curate, family relationships expose someone's deepest patterns and automatic responses. Pay attention to how they speak about their parents, siblings, and close family members when they're not around. Do they show respect and genuine care, or do you hear consistent criticism and blame? More importantly, observe their body language and vocal tone when family members call or when family topics come up in conversation. The way someone treats their spouse in public is particularly revealing. Do they show micro-expressions of genuine affection and respect, or do you catch fleeting moments of annoyance or contempt? How do they interact with their children when they think others aren't paying attention? People who are consistently kind and patient with family members, especially during stressful moments, demonstrate authentic emotional stability. Those who are charming to strangers but dismissive or cruel to family members are showing you their true priorities and capacity for genuine love. Secret 5. The loyalty litmus test, what they do. When you're not there, the ultimate test of someone's character happens in your absence. This psychological principle is based on the concept of moral consistency, whether someone's values remain stable regardless of external rewards or consequences. Genuine people maintain the same standards, whether you're present or absent. They defend your reputation when you're not there to defend yourself. They keep confidential information private, even when sharing it might benefit them socially. They honor commitments and speak truthfully about you, regardless of the audience. Here's how to test this. Pay attention to how they talk about mutual friends or colleagues when those people aren't around. If they consistently gossip, criticize, or share private information about others, they're absolutely doing the same about you when you're not present. This behavior reveals a fundamental lack of loyalty and integrity. Watch for subtle signs. Do they seem uncomfortable when conversations turn to gossip about mutual acquaintances? Do they redirect negative conversations about people you both know? Or do they eagerly participate in or even initiate such discussions? The most reliable people are those who actively avoid speaking negatively about others behind their backs. They understand that loyalty isn't just about friendship. It's about having consistent moral standards that don't shift based on social convenience. The micro-expression advantage. Throughout all these tests, one of your most powerful tools will be reading micro-expressions. These involuntary facial expressions last less than half a second and reveal genuine emotions that people try to conceal. Research by psychologist Paul Ekman has identified 7 universal micro-expressions: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, disgust, and contempt. When someone's words don't match their micro-expressions, you're witnessing psychological incongruence, a clear sign that they're not being authentic. For example, someone might verbally agree to help you while showing a micro-expression of annoyance or contempt. Their face is telling you what their words are hiding. Learning to spot these fleeting expressions gives you an incredible advantage in reading people's true intentions and feelings. It's like having X-ray vision for human emotions. Putting it all together, these 5 secrets work together to create a comprehensive psychological profile of anyone you meet. The beauty of this system is that it doesn't require years of training. It just requires conscious observation and understanding of basic human psychology. Remember, truly good people will consistently pass all these tests. They'll use power responsibly, treat everyone with respect, own their mistakes, maintain healthy family relationships, and demonstrate loyalty even when you're not around. These individuals are rare treasures in a world full of performers and manipulators. Conversely, people who fail multiple tests are showing you exactly who they are. Believe them. Don't make excuses for their behavior or convince yourself that they'll change. Character patterns established in adulthood are remarkably stable. Your new superpower. You now possess knowledge that most people will never have. You understand the psychological principles that reveal authentic character versus carefully constructed facades. You know how to look beyond words and actions to see the deeper motivations and patterns that drive human behavior. Use this knowledge wisely. Don't become paranoid or suspicious of everyone you meet. Instead, become a more discerning judge of character. Trust your observations when someone consistently demonstrates good character through these tests. But also trust your instincts when multiple red flags appear. The most successful and fulfilled people in life are those who surround themselves with individuals of genuine character while maintaining healthy boundaries with those who fail these fundamental tests of integrity. Your ability to make these distinctions will protect your emotional well-being, improve your relationships, and help you build a life surrounded by people who truly deserve your trust. What you do with this knowledge is up to you. But remember, once you start seeing people's true character, you can never unsee it. You'll find yourself noticing patterns you never recognized before, understanding motivations that were previously hidden, and making connections between behavior and character that will astound you. Welcome to a deeper level of human understanding. Use it well.